What's going on? It's your main bro, Michael. Again, I'm the main bro from MMA Bro, and what we're doing today is really taking a look at this card and seeing how everything's going to shake out when it comes to UFC Fight Night, Oleinik versus Lewis. If you guys watched the previous two videos, hopefully, if you guys haven't, I can find a way to put those links in the description, so that way you guys have the chance to be able to really see what I'm thinking is going to happen when it comes to this card. Again, when it comes to the comment sections, don't be afraid to leave a comment. Anytime you guys say anything, I will take into account what we're talking about and making sure everything's good. So the previous fight, we're talking about Coconut Bombs versus the Dentist. Again, Coconut Bombs is a really great nickname. And so we spent the last two videos talking about them. Next, we're going to move up and go Chris Weidman versus Omari Akhmedov. Now, this is going to be the fight where Chris Weidman, after his little failure at 205, is coming back down to 185, trying to submit himself as like a possible title contender, or at least a top 10 fighter in the division. While Omari's trying to establish himself that he really belongs in this division, that he's really a threat to the fighters that are ahead of him. Now, we all know Chris Weidman from the Anderson Silva, the leg snap, to the one that ended the streak. So Omari Akhmedov is the one I'm going to start out with, and the reason why is because it's going to take a little bit more time for people to start realizing who he is. We could change if he puts on a dominant performance this weekend. Really interested to see if this is going to be his first time fighting like a former champion like Weidman, someone who's very, very polished when it comes to stand-up and his grappling. Really going to see how this works out against Omari, because Omari isn't really that kind of a polished fighter. It's not really his fighting style. Cool thing of it is he has a lot of ties to Habib. I don't know if them two personally know each other. I know that Amari's either from Dagestan or close to Dagestan, and I know that they had the same manager who he appreciated for being able to give him such a quick fight as last time and put him into the top 10 when it comes to contenders against Ian Heinisch. He actually beat Ian Heinisch. Pretty great fight. If you guys haven't seen that, I would highly recommend it. It's a pretty fun fight to watch. A lot of cool exchanges that happen in that fight. But more importantly, here where I'm going to talk about how he lines up with Chris Weidman. But Chris Weidman, I feel like there's so much people talking about down about what he's been doing. But I think this is going to be Omari's real chance to be able to do these three things to really help out. The first thing of it is really, really dive into his style. He's a brawler. He's not really a polished fighter. He's not one of these guys who's going to tear you up with a two-piece. He's going to try to hit you with everything he's got constantly and see if you're still standing at the end of it. And that's going to be something that's really going to be interesting because of the fact that, there's not every so often that person gets caught like Weidman has. Weidman's last fight since Rockhold I think he was won one fight against Kevin Gastelum where he got him into an arm triangle. Other than that, he's been knocked out every time and gets cracked almost every fight. So it's going to be really interesting to see him Omari really dive into that brawling style and really dive into it. What I mean by this is do a lot like Jacare Souza did in round 2 and 3, which is you're going to have to concede the fact that if you go by strikes and a point system, you're not going to win. The best thing to do is just hold your head down and swing. That's the best option you have. And that's nothing wrong with that if you're completely open about that to begin with and don't think you're going to win the striking exchanges round for round. It's just not going to happen. You really got to kind of bite down on your mouthpiece and just go for it. And then this is something that Omari's been doing a lot of when he does swing. Whenever he's been offensive, is he just puts the pedal to the metal and just swings with everything he's got. Big looping shots. I mean, just looping shots. And I think this will be something that's going to be really interesting to see if Chris Weidman's learned his lesson about this, about kind of leaving yourself open and getting caught. I think Omari, that's going to be his biggest thing, is he's just going to try to make this a dirty fight. It just goes, hey, man, I'm going to try to put you down. You're going to try to put me down. The biggest difference of it is I'm coming in here and I'm throwing. Either you can eat through it and survive it, or I'm going to move up these rankings. And I think for Omari, I think that's going to be the biggest thing that he needs to do is just really just bite down on his mouthpiece, go for it, not really worry about being a crisper fighter because he's not. Now, when Omari does swing, when he lands, there's a lot of power that he's throwing. And in fights that if you watch any of his fights, you're going to realize, against Ian Hirsch, to name one, it's the fact that, when he swings, he's landing to hurt you. He's not doing it to be friendly. He's not doing it to invite you to a stand-up battle. He wants to put you out when he hits you. It's just one of those things. That's his main goal. Is he wants to make sure when he hits you that you're not going to be standing there. He's going to swing often, swing wildly, swing crazy. But more importantly, he's swinging to hurt you. Which, as we all know, with Weidman's previous track record of getting cracked a lot, getting really hit hard and really almost getting knocked out in almost his last 6 fights. I know he won against Kevin Gastelum. That was one where I think the bell really saved him, because I think at the end of that first, if Gastelum would have had the time, he would have put him out. So power is gonna be something I think that I'm not gonna say power. What I'm saying is that's what for this one. I'm talking about physical power. Like, he looks stronger than Weidman. Weidman again is a great wrestler, no question about that, and really knows how to use his frame. But I think Omari is gonna be the stronger fighter. I think he's gonna look stronger whenever you see the fight, and I also think that, like, whenever he's hitting, there's gonna be a lot more power in his strikes. Which, whenever you're swinging a lot of power, it can change the fight at any time. Now, this third one I think is going to create a little bit of controversy for the people that do watch this video. And there's going to be a lot of comments or people saying that, like, they don't agree with this. But when it comes to the cage grappling, I think Omari is a better grappler in the cage. And what I mean by that is like Omari's best tactic, what he's been doing a lot for his takedowns, is a lot like Khabib would do, but in a different variation. What Omari likes to do when he pushes you in the cage is the only thing he's really worried about is trying to get that grip on the backside. What he's trying to do is just trying to go right underneath the butt. That way he's in great position. It's really hard to stop him when he goes for the takedown, whether that be a slam or just actually just pulling the legs out. It's one thing that he does a lot. I think he does it quite effectively. The reason why is because when a lot of people are up against the cage, they're not really looking to do much other than kind of like hold there. But when Omari gets you against the cage, his main goal is he wants to be able to close and get that grip and pull you down, because he feels very confident, especially being on top, that he's gonna be able to control the fight. And again, I know Weidman's a great fighter, but I think like a lot of his tendencies is more open wrestling, which is something that really feeds into like his amateur background. It's the fact that like he has that clearance to be able to push through. Whenever somebody's against the cage, you can't push through because that cage is keeping that body up. And so I think that's why I think that Omari has a bigger advantage when it comes to cage grappling. Again, I did want to specify because I know a lot of people, the people that do watch this video, again, I want to say a lot of people, but whoever watches it. Again, this is just my take. I think that this fight's gonna be a very inducive of what Omari and how he fights has been. I think it's a really good setup for him when it comes to it. But he really, one thing he's going to have to do is make this a dirty fight. Like, he can't go in there and try to win points, and he can't try to just completely steamroll through him. I think he needs to watch his distance and make sure whenever he sees an opening, he can either shoot in and press him against the cage and work that advantage with the grappling, or if he sees a moment where Weidman's not really being too responsive with his defense, really, whenever he starts swinging, just make sure he puts a lot behind it and make sure that he just keeps swinging. Because, again, that brawling style we've seen work with Jacare Souza. So I'm really interested to see if Omari really learned from that and really can do the same thing. And what I mean by that is just make this a dirty fight, swing with power, swing to knockout, and then whenever you hit him, make sure he goes down. All right, so like always, this is Michael with MMA Bro. If you like what we're doing here, please leave a comment, like, subscribe. Again, in the comments, if there's something I'm missing, some kind of point you think of that was even bigger than what I mentioned, go ahead. I'm not afraid seeing that and just seeing what I think about it. Again, I'm going to read the comments, go through them. So again, I do want this to be a forum where everybody can be honest. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and peace out to the next video.